On the 26th of August at 2:25 p.m. Universal Time, the Moon reaches Mars. So the alignment with Mars is going to trigger the energy of Mars from an astrological point of view, of course. And Mars represents action. So we may need to react quickly, but because there is here a discordance with Jupiter, we could do that much too fast, too quickly for our own good, which could trigger an incident or an accident. Diplomatic incident, a fight, a conflict, or an accident. So we need to be very careful on that day and around that time. Now, the moon is going to remain around Mars to be really active, according to what Mars represents, for about 4-6 hours. So you can imagine that whole afternoon from perhaps midday until about 6-7 p.m., the energy of the moon is going to be strong around Mars. So that will make us much more impatient. And of course, impatience is leading to very often to mistakes that we make. So if you want to achieve something, you may be very, very motivated on that day and time, but too much. So you'll have to sort of remember that in a vehicle, there is the accelerator, which is actually represented by Mars, but there is also the brakes. And if you don't know how to use them, you're bound to be in trouble. So that is what you need to remember for that day, especially if you were born under the sign Libra or Cancer, because you will become a lot more reactive and a lot more impatient for sure. So there is an encounter with the North Lunar Node here, that green line. That green line represents a tendency to sort of wait. And knowing what you need to do to reach that goal represented by the North Lunar Node, you may not do it because you will be much more motivated by this configuration here. So that could mean that there is something going on that has a tendency to make you quite nervous and irritable and impatient. Impatience, that is actually what that day is going to be under the influence of, impatience. So take it easy, try it and take it easy. I will, but I'm not sure that I can succeed because it is a very strong configuration. Anyway, the next transit of the moon is actually when it reaches the opposition with Chiron. Let's have a look at that now.